Hello, everyone. My name is Melissa Murray Baltus. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm one of the interim assistant directors in ISS. And part of my role is to help with programming and events. So it's nice to meet you.
Good morning, all. My name is Kathleen Finnegan. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am the programming coordinator for ISS, which means I do the large-scale events like our International Student Welcome and Information Fair that we held earlier this semester, and other events that can all be viewed on our ISS event calendar.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katja Fisher. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am the International Engagement Coordinator. I'm new in the ISS office, so it's nice to meet you all, and I'm excited to see the presentation today.
Okay, so we're going to start off with a quick quiz. Hopefully you all know the answer to this question already, but if not, we will help you figure it out. So the quiz question is, where is the ISS office located? I'll give you a second to pick which letter, and then we'll move on and you can learn the answer. Okay, so hopefully all of you have thought of your answer. The answer is letter C. The ISS office is located in the Red Gym, and we will show you a picture in the next slide. So the Red Gym is the big red castle looking building on campus right next to Memorial Union. So hopefully you've all had a chance to walk around campus a little bit and get familiar with some of the popular places that students hang out. And the terrace is definitely a popular place for students. So we are just right next to that in that big red building. Okay, so we just wanted to give a brief overview of what ISS does, kind of what our office does for students. So we provide immigration advising for F1 and J1 student visas. So F1 and J1 students specifically, those are the visa types that we can assist with or give advice about in our office. And we call students who are here as international students global badgers. So you might hear the term global badgers, or you might hear international students, and that's when we're talking about you. So welcome, global badgers, if you're new, and we're happy to have you here. We also are here to educate and empower you to make informed decisions about your visa status. So we are not here to tell you what to do necessarily, but we want to give you all the information so that you can make smart decisions to help yourself stay in status. And we'll talk a little bit more about what we do and don't do next. Okay, so we are here to support you in the ways that we can, but we do want to talk about a few ways that we can support you and what we do, and then a couple of things that we don't do. So as I mentioned, we do advise you on your options in relation to your F1 or J1 status as a student. We explain immigration rules and UW policies so we can help you understand your responsibilities for maintaining your status. And maintaining your status means you're staying in good standing with your student visa status. We process paperwork that allows you to work, get a social security number or SSN, re-enter the US, and more. So if you want to learn more about that, we can definitely share more resources, but those are some of the things we do through Teradata. And then we run programs like this to help you adjust to UW and UW-Madison, engage in co-curricular education, so activities and education that support your classroom learning, and also to get involved in student life. So our goal is to support you and advocate for you and provide you with information to help you be successful. What we don't do is tell you what to do. So your status is your status, and we want you to take ownership of that. But we do want you to come to us so you can get the right information to make good decisions. What you decide to do or not do to maintain your status is your choice and your responsibility. We do not make the immigration rules. So although we try to help you understand them to the best of our ability, we are not the ones who make those decisions. We are just trying to help you understand what the rules and laws are while you're here in the US. And we do not work for the US Consulate, US Customs and Border Protection, U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services, or any other government agencies. So although we sometimes communicate with those agencies, or we sometimes have to explain some roles of those agencies, we do not work for them directly. And we do not help you choose your classes, process your tuition payments, or provide career advising. There are some great offices on campus who do help with those things, and we are happy to give you information about how to contact those offices, but we just aren't trained to be able to do all of those specific things. So if you have questions about that, there are other offices on campus that can be more helpful. Okay. So ISS works on an advising caseload model, and what that means is each of the advisors in ISS has certain caseloads or groups of students that they work with or support specifically through advising. So if you come to drop-in advising, you might talk to any advisor, but if you make an appointment or if you have some follow-up, it will likely come from your ISS advisor for the caseload that you are in. So for example, my caseload is the School of Education, so I work with students who are studying in the School of Education, and that's my caseload. So if you want to know who your assigned ISS advisor is, you can find that on the ISS website under the Find My Advisor page, and you can see a photo there of how to get to that page. And then when you're communicating with ISS through Teradata, which is how you should communicate with us, sending an information request or making an appointment, you want to do that with your assigned ISS advisor. So it's great to look up who your advisor is and then find in Teradata where you can communicate with them, and then that's going to be your point person in ISS. And then we also work with peer advisors in our office. So those are students who work in our office to support the ISS team of advisors. And so those peer advisors might also be communicating with you in Teradata if you ask a question and they're able to assist you, or they might be helping to make appointments with advisors. So they're supporting the advising team, but they're not advisors. So there might be some questions that they can't answer, and they will do their best to refer you to who can help you. Okay, and then just a quick reminder that if you have not completed International Student Orientation and Check-in, you need to do that as soon as possible. The deadline for this is Thursday, September 23rd, if you want to make sure that you are following the rules of your student visa. So this is for new students who have initial attendance I-20s or students who are starting a new program here. If you are a continuing student and you're just here to learn, you might not have to do ISO and check-in. Just make sure you're enrolled full time. You've updated us about your address and everything is good to go each semester, like we always remind you to do. So yes, please finish that if you have not already. I'm sure if you have not, you've been receiving reminder emails from us, and we don't do that to be annoying. We do that because we want you to stay in status. Okay. Then we had mentioned before Teradata. So this is a program that you've probably used already through your application process, maybe to get your I-20 to come here. This is the software system that we use to communicate with international students and to store information and manage all of the student visa information. So we ask that students use Teradata to communicate with us and to make requests for our office. You can access it through my UW Student Center if you just search Teradata, and then you can save that widget to your homepage so it's easier to find the next time that you log in. And this is how you should submit any forms or applications to us. Send an information request, which is like an email, but in Teradata, to your advisor, make appointments, and read any important announcements that we might have to share with you. You can find more information about Teradata and also video tutorials about how to do some of those things in Teradata on the ISS website. And just a note, Teradata is the name of the program, but it's not the name of a person. So if you get an email from Teradata, it's an email from the software system. So it's good and you should read it, but if you reply, it's not an actual person that you're replying to. Yes, so there's no one in ISS named Tara. Okay, and then how to get help from ISS. So if you have questions or you need assistance or support from our office, these are some of the great ways that you can contact us and get that support. You can visit our website and search for information and answers to your questions. I would say like at least 80% of the questions you might have, you can probably find the answers on our website. And that is our best 24/7 advising tool. So even if our office isn't available or you can't get an answer immediately from us, our website is a really good resource to be able to find a lot of answers to most of your questions that are connected to your student status. Second, you can check our e-forms and Teradata. So e-forms are electronic forms and applications that you can use to apply for different benefits of your student visa status. And so you can check those out in Teradata. And if you have a request or you need help with something, likely you'll be going there to complete a request, and then our office will review and process that request. So look for the information on the website. When you're ready to apply, then go to Teradata and start the application. You can also send an information request, as I mentioned, to communicate with your ISS advisor, or make an appointment if they have appointments available. And you can do those both through Teradata. And then also you can come to our virtual drop-in advising if you'd like to talk, if you can't find an appointment or you just want to drop in for a quick question and talk to an ISS advisor, you can come to a virtual drop-in advising. We have several advisors that are available each day during drop-ins to answer questions for students and kind of troubleshoot. You might not talk to your assigned advisor, but all of the ISS advisors are trained to ask questions or answer questions and assist you. And we keep good notes so that we can help you with everything and we're all on the same page. And that happens on Monday and Wednesday from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. So we do have drop-in advising every day of the week that our office is open. Okay, and I think that's all I have. So I'm going to hand it off to Kathleen to talk a little bit about ISS programs and some of the fun stuff you can do in our office.
Thanks, Melissa. Yeah, so international student programs, we try to offer lots of opportunities for students to engage with our office and with other students across campus, because it's hard to get to know people on a campus that is this big. So we like to offer many choices depending on what you're interested in. So for these next few slides, we are just going to go through some of our big repeating programs that we will have through the fall semester and other opportunities to meet people. Perfect. So kicking us off, Global Cafe, which is a bi-weekly series hosted by various international student organizations. And this is open to all UW students, not just international students, as a way to learn about other cultures, try food and drink. We also play games or do different cultural celebrations depending on what the student organization wants to present about. And so it's a great opportunity to get to make new friends from around the globe, both other international students and other American students. Our first Global Cafe of the semester will be Tuesday, September 21st at 6:30 p.m. These events are all in person and will be held in the red gym, that south mezzanine, which is kind of between floors 2 and 3. So there'll be lots of signage, and now that you know where the red gym is, we hope to see a bunch of you next week. All right, so one that is not a program, but is actually a student organization is WISA. WISA stands for Wisconsin International Students Association. So this is led by students, for students, about students. Its focus is international students who are members of the UW community. In the past, it's also part of programming. So they have done scavenger hunts across campus, participated in the annual homecoming parade, which is the big picture you see on the slide. And they also advocate for students' rights and international students on campus. So join WISA. You can go and follow their Facebook page for more events that are happening so you can participate. Their first meeting will be next week, so look for more details about the date and time. And it really is meant to be a platform, not only to meet students, but really to learn about the university and make it more enjoyable and really feel like you have a home where you belong. All right, and PEACE is another of an ISS rotating program. So PEACE stands for Practicing English and Cultural Exchange. So this is a free and very informal English conversation and cultural exchange group or class, again, for international and American students, also open to scholars, spouses, dependents. So it's really a great opportunity for everyone who's a member of the UW-Madison community to come together and give you a chance to practice English. Also share your culture. So each meeting usually has a theme. So you get to learn a little bit about a culture and also practice conversation with someone. Great way to make connections with people around the world and across campus. And that first one, it'll be a virtual one, and they'll rotate virtual and in person. Will be Thursday, September 30th at 6 p.m. And look to the ISS event calendar for more details about the location and the link to join Zoom.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about International Reach, which is a cross-cultural speakers program in the ISS office. So it gives international students a chance to volunteer to share their culture and experiences on campus, but also in the Madison community. So some places that ambassadors might present are in the classroom. As you can see, there's a picture of an ambassador on the slide in the classroom. But there's also other events in the community like cultural festivals and on campus as well. Ambassadors might give presentations, do interviews, participate on panels, or even do performances. It all depends on the request. So yeah, for this year, the 2021 to 2022 academic year, we have chosen 13 ambassadors from 9 different countries. So that's really cool. And then along with the presentation part of the ambassador role, we also have training socials twice per semester. So at these events, ambassadors really have a chance to socialize with each other, learn something new, learn a new skill, and we provide free food. So yeah, there's lots of benefits of International Reach. As you can see, you get a chance to share your culture and experiences, make new friends, learn more about the Madison community, but also have a chance to build your resume with public speaking skills, leadership skills, and adding these sorts of things to your resume is definitely a good thing to have no matter what kind of jobs you're applying to after graduation. And who doesn't like to make new friends? So yeah, we are no longer accepting Reach ambassadors for this year. Yuriko, can you go to the next slide? But if this sounds like something you might be interested in, please stay connected with us on social media. There's lots of cool things going on our Instagram and our Facebook at the moment, and more cool things happening the coming semester. And you can also attend an open presentation, which will be advertised on our social media pages as well. So keep an eye out for that. And on this slide, you can find our social media accounts, our Instagram handle, and all of that. And also feel free to send us an email. You can find the Reach email on the website, iss.wis.edu/internationalreach. And we also, if you'll be a student at Madison next year as well, we encourage everyone to apply to become a Reach ambassador in the future. Applications will likely come out sometime in the early spring of next year, so around March 2022. So keep a lookout for that on our social media and website as well, because we would love to have you as a Reach ambassador. So yeah, another really cool program is the Madison Friends of International Students, which is MFIS. And they're actually a longstanding partner community organization with ISS. They support international students, scholars, and their dependents through a variety of different programs. Usually they offer things like English classes, temporary home stays, even a Thanksgiving dinner. But because of the pandemic, of course, these programs have been modified. So at the moment, they're offering a furniture program and the Global Friends program. So the furniture program is where they collect and kind of redistribute gently used furniture to international students for a low cost, which is really cool. And then the Global Friends program is also another really great opportunity to meet new people. And it pairs a local Madison resident with an international student or scholar. And for a COVID safe version of this, they suggest maybe video chatting or going on a walk around Madison with your global friend. And they have a sign up sheet on their website. So you should definitely check out their website for more information on both of these services, and their website is listed on the slide.
Great. So real quickly, wanted to show you all where you can find more information about all of these awesome events. So big blown up of the ISS homepage is what you're seeing right now on the screen. So for more information about MFIS and all of the events, go to that third drop-down called Get Involved. And if you click on the Get Involved section, you will get like a list of all of the programs where you can click on, or simply go to the event calendar, which is the second option in the drop-down, and you can see a full month view of everything that's going on, and you can click through and see everything that will be happening throughout the semester. And of course, ISS tries to communicate very frequently with you all, just so you know what's going on. So make sure you are receiving our newsletters to your WISC email. We do 2 bi-weekly newsletters and rotate them. So some are about immigration and advising services, and the others are about engagement, well-being, and success, similar to the conversations we're having today. If you are not getting those newsletters, please let your assigned ISS advisor know, and we'll make sure to sync you on our list. Also, ISS announcements, not only will these be posted on the homepage of that ISS website, just below that picture of the red gym we were looking at, but they'll also be in Teradata. So you'll see a running list of all the announcements every time you log in. And for the really big announcements or reminders, you will also receive an email through Teradata about what is going on. And of course, follow ISS on our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And all of our socials and @ are listed there on the screen. Thank you all.
All right, so now we will have the ISOP members to present.
Hi, good morning or afternoon. My name is Aditi Tarfa and I am from Nigeria. I am a health services research and pharmacy student at the School of Pharmacy. I am a third year PhD student.
Hi, my name is Cecilia and I'm from China. So I'm currently a junior majoring in legal studies and physics in medicine.
Hi everyone, I'm Nurul and I am from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I am majoring in chemical engineering.
All right, next slide. And so we are part of ISAB, and that's an advisory board for international students. And what we do as an advisory board is, so we're all international students. I believe there's 7 of us now, I might be wrong. But what we do is we represent international students because we're part of the international student group, and then help with decision making and just bridging maybe any gaps if there is between ISS or the UWS general community with international students. Next slide, sorry, I should say that. Okay, so ISAB, as I mentioned, is the International Student Advisory Board, and it's made up of diverse student representatives. So we applied and went through an interview to be part of this advisory board. And as you see, we're from different disciplines, different countries, different level of experiences here at UW. And so we, as you see, from that bridge, connect international students to mainly international student services. Next slide, please. And so our missions are to advocate for international students' need. And so we try to listen to what our needs are collectively as international students. We also voice international student stories, concerns, and feedbacks. And as we listened to earlier presentations, there are so many opportunities for us as international students to share our experiences. And so sometimes ISS will have members of ISAP come and present on different occasions. And then we have an overall objective to improve the international student experience through that advocacy and voicing. And then our hope is to enhance international student engagement in the campus and surrounding community. And as I mentioned, there are just so many ways for us as international students to be involved with the UW campus and our community in general. And so ISAP has this mission to really enhance those engagements. Next slide, please. Okay, so and what we do is we share our international student experience. We provide resources to new international students. So we also have like shared maybe through videos what our experiences are, or you might see us sometimes on the ISS newsletters sharing our live experiences as international students. And we also provide advice and feedback on new international student orientation on ISS engagement programs. So I know I personally in the past been involved with when ISS and the University Health Services had meetings or groups like that. I've been part of that and shared my experience using the University Health Services as an international student. And then we participate and support ISS events and engagement. And then we also really have a focus on social justice and equity for international students, because that's something that impacts us, especially as international students. Okay, so what are our member responsibilities? We attend our monthly ISAP meetings. We meet with ISS staff. We reach out to international students' peers to hear about their experiences, and then we try to learn as much as we can about ISS resources and communications for international students, and we share those with peers. We present like a board report to the full ISS staff each meeting to tell them this is what we have been doing, this is where we hope to go moving forward, and solicit feedback from ISS. Next slide, please. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and transfer to another ISAP member to continue from there. We just really do hope to generally improve the Wisconsin experience. Thank you.
So after Daddy introduced what is the responsibilities of ISAP, and today me and the other member would like to share with you the things that we wish that we would have known earlier in the first semester from the perspective as an ISAP member to help you better prepare for your Wisconsin experience and probably be more successful as you start a brand new semester. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is campus involvement. Since we have all the students from all of the United States and 134 countries, we have a pretty diverse and energetic kind of community that we have. So like there's a lot of different forms of campus involvement. You don't have to restrain yourself in any of those. And all of these opportunities has the potential to help you to learn some new skills and develop as an individual. So like the first one is academic life. We have academic advisors, writing centers, librarians, and even more. So like maybe you can make appointments with your academic advisors to talk about the course options and academic problems or concerns. Seek out for assistance from the writing centers, because I know a lot of international students are struggling with like English writing, essays, and a lot of problems that's brand new, a new language and a new cultural environment. And we have multiple study space, including the Memorial Library, the College Library, the Law Library, or the cafes and the study rooms. So the Memorial Library is huge and it has a lot of resources in it, while the College Library do have a better lake view. And the Law Library is usually more empty and there's less people there, but it's a very stressed and intense kind of study base. You can also go to cafes or like Memorial Unions or Union South and different study rooms around the campus. So secondly, about social life, there's football that we're well known among the countries as I'm proud to be a Badgers this way. And there's also other union events if you like to attending. There's Winter Carnival and there's theater season events and even more. So apart from that, if you want to learn more about Madison, and we have State Street, Capitol Square, and the farmers market, and you'll get to know more about the vibrant and like the energy of the Madison city. You can also seek out for various involvement and learning opportunities that's in the Center for First Year Experience. And there's a lot of them, and you can have opportunities as much as you want and matching your imagination or like matching your preferences. So lastly, the career life is like what you expect after you graduate. So like if you would like to looking out for like meaningful work opportunities, and there's on-campus job opportunities, which is widely chosen by international students, and there's Handshake where you can provide your previous experience, your expectations, and a lot of things, and they will match you with a lot of job opportunities. Or you can go to the Wisconsin Alumni Association, and there's a lot of like alumni that might connect you or share their experience with you as much as you want. Yes. Next time, thank you. So next, I'm gonna talk about the life in Madison and how to make new friends. The first one is like seek out multicultural resources. So since we're all ISAS members, like you can go to the Multicultural Student Center or like the Office of Inclusion Education, and they're located in the Red Gym, and you might find a bunch of interesting and very good friends there that's also international student or share different or same culture with you. And the office also offers like a lot of programs, workshops, and social events, and very various diverse resources for the students. Secondly, you can go connect with the other students that's in your class. It is sometimes hard to like trying to like talk to other students because you might feel like, oh, it's so awkward to talk to them. But think it this way, like they also share the same kind of feeling as you. So like might as well just talk to them, introduce each other after or before the class, and like form a study group, like drop in the professor or the TA's office hours, and try to participate as more as you can, like in the class activity and events. And you will find a lot of students that might be in your major or different majors, and hope you have a successful experience there. And the third one is like reach out to student organizations via ISS Org Fair or like the fall 2021 Org Fair, which I believe happened like a couple days ago. There's also a virtual one that I think I'm pretty sure it passed like a couple days ago. There's also a virtual one that's like on Thursday probably, or you can go to the Wisconsin Involvement and Network. So we have over 400 different student organizations among campus, and like probably nearly 900 of them, and you can definitely participate in any of them and try to find the place or like the interest points that you are interested in and make connections and be friend with them. And by attending the org fair, except from like make new friends, you definitely like experience different kinds of situations, problems, or experience that you didn't expect before you go to the org. And like you will have a brand new experience, probably in leadership, public speech, and like a lot of funds and a lot of like personal development and personal skills. And the fourth one is like probably stay tuned in your email inbox and other social medias platforms such as like Facebook local events. You can find some like interesting events, and you can also know what are the other people that's like wanting and expect to join events. You might find your friends, or you might find some new friends or like interesting speakers or like professors that you will want to make connect to, and you can participate those meaningful events on and around campus. So under the current situation, like there's some events or activities that might be like online, but you can still go to all those like virtual engagement opportunities and see what we are doing right now. Thank you.
So hello everyone. I'm gonna be sharing some advice on living with roommates, because personally, when I came to Madison, living with roommates was one of the biggest adjustments that I had to make. So first of all, having a roommate agreement is crucial to having peace in a household, I would say. It's a great way for you and your roommate to be on the same page when it comes to expectations and responsibilities, and topics you could discuss about are maybe chores, quiet hours, gas policies, what items you could share and what items are not to share, and so on. This piece of document, the roommate agreement, would be really, really helpful if there ever is conflict between you and your roommates, so that so that you guys can come to an agreement and maybe improvise if there is a need to improvise. And another point that you guys could take is to maybe also track household expenses timely. You guys could set a monthly roommates meeting just to update on each other. You guys can have a lovely dinner together and see how everyone is doing during the school year, and also be clear about expenses, especially when you're sharing, let's say, groceries, or sharing on transportation if you are living a bit far from campus. So that is something to take note of. And the next point, next advice on living with roommates is to also make sure to get to know each other, because in the end, you guys are gonna live together for most likely a year. So be respectful to each other, have good communication, learn from each other, maybe learn from their mistakes or from your own mistakes, something like that. And also don't forget to hang out, because in the end, these people are gonna be one of your first few friends in Madison. Next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so the next advice slide that I would like to share on is how to improve your English skills, because also one of the biggest challenges that I personally had, and also some of my friends had, was talking English because we are not native English speakers. So a great thing about campus is that we have a lot of resources for you to go and practice your English. For example, with the Wisconsin Experience Seminar, which is something you can enroll via the course search and enroll page, and also the first year interest groups. And ISS also has plenty of programs for you to join, like Peace, Global Cafe, and Friday social hours with ISS, and also sessions like today, which is the Global Badger Success Fridays. And you can also make sure to check out the ISS event calendar if you are interested in any of those programs. The second way to maybe improve your English skills is to listen to a lot of English podcasts and watch movies and TV shows. So to listen to English podcasts, maybe you can just keep it going on during the background while doing house chores. And it's a great way for you to get familiar with some of the words and slang maybe that most people use today, because sometimes it's not traditional English, and then there is a way for miscommunication to happen if you are not up to date with how people talk in America now. Yeah, so that is the second way for you to improve your English skills. Third, but not least, of course, last but not least, is don't be afraid of being judged in class. Please do speak up and seek help whenever you feel like you don't understand the class or anything. In the end, professors are there to help you, and also TAs are also there to help you, and everybody in the end, our students, they all understand everybody has their own struggles, so please don't be afraid of being judged when you are confused in class. Yeah. Next slide, please. So one major problem as well being international students is having homesickness, which is definitely something I struggled with during my freshman year and sophomore years, to be honest. So the first tip is to find a balance between meeting new people while also trying to connect to your family. So please try to come out of your comfort zone and meet new people, so that you can find a group of friends that you can call like your second home in Madison. So that's what I fortunately got to found. But also make sure to keep in contact with family back at home so that you don't get suddenly a surge of homesickness when you suddenly thought of them. So the next point on overcoming your homesickness is to always stay positive. So because we do understand it is some countries, the COVID situation may not be as good as the US right now, for example, Malaysia, but it's okay. We're all doing quite well. So just try to stay positive, find ways to release stress and focus on something you can accomplish, and also make sure to keep a healthy mindset, a healthy body, go out for a walk or something, especially now when the weather is still lovely and not cold and shivering. So please do take advantage of the weather these few weeks and go out and have fun. So that comes to my third point. Please explore Madison. It is a beautiful, beautiful place to explore. You can go biking, you can go walking. You have like 2 lakes to explore around here and plenty of like places for you to eat as well. So Lake Mendota is a great place to go and walk or go for biking. And then state parks are good for hiking as well. And of course, there's State Street and also the state capitol for you to visit if you would like to, I don't know, enjoy nightlife or something in Madison. Yeah. So those are the few things that we thought of sharing to hopefully help you with your experience adjusting to Madison. Yeah, so next slide, please. And with that, that concludes our presentation. And if you have any questions, we would love to answer them for you.